Hey everyone, welcome to the Oasis podcast. I'm your host, Miss AJ. Thanks for tuning in. An oasis is something that provides refuge, relief, or pleasant contrast, and that is exactly what you can find tuning into the Oasis podcast. This will be a space where I and special guests will be cultivating intentional and honest conversations about life's journey. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. Also follow us on Instagram at the Oasis Podcast. That's THEOASIS Podcast. Hey y'all, it's me again, giving y'all an update on my fertility journey. So I had my first appointment today with the reproductive endocrinologist, aka I'm gonna call her the fertility doctor, and she was actually nice in person too, real pleasant, real nice. She took her time to talk me through some things during the exam. So today I got tested so I did some blood work, but I also did transvaginal sonogram. Those of you who know what that is, okay? Those who don't, they take a wand and they insert it into your vagina so that they can check to see what your uterus looks like, what your ovaries look like. If there's, they check for the size of everything, but also to see if you have fibroids or any type of things in your reproductive organs that might need to be addressed. And no surprise is that I have fibroids, which run in my family. But the surprise that came for me was the size of my fibroid, which had gotten bigger than I last recall. Last time I think I got tested, they said that it was about pea-sized, which wasn't a big deal at the time, which is maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. Now it is probably the size of, she said 3 centimeters. When she showed me with her fingers, it looks like the size of like a really small tangerine, a clementine, I don't know. But it makes a lot of sense because my cycles have been a lot heavier, and in between I've been having a lot more like cramping and things of that nature. So it makes sense that it has grown because my cycle has evolved from since these past few years. So that makes sense. But it is a little scary too because she did mention that because of where the fibroid is located, is pushing into my uterine cavity. So that can inhibit fertility. Or if I do get pregnant, that can be an issue when the fetus starts to grow. So I will have to possibly get it removed. And she said the healing process for that would take up to a year. So, I mean, I ain't got no man now, so it'll be good. Probably to get that done. So by the time, I'm all healed up, I might have a man by then. So, I mean, that was a little scary for me. I ain't gonna hold you. It was a little bit scary when she said it. Like, oh, surgery. I don't know who likes to do surgery. So, but this is the point of why I was doing all this, right? I'd rather know what's happening now, right? Before I dive headfirst into the process and then all these things pop up. So I'd rather know now so that I have the time to process and think in a less emotional state than when I'm like with somebody and I'm ready to move forward and then it's like, oh, all this crap happens. So this was the point of doing all this stuff. So that's that first part. And then I did some blood work that is going to check my prenatal hormones. I'm going to do some genetic testing to see if I have anything, that's alarming that I, need to know about, as well as I scheduled for an HSG, which is I'm going to probably mispronounce this, but it's a high hysterosalpingogram. And that's where they inject a dye into your uterus that's supposed to travel into your uterus, into your fallopian tubes, to check to see if there's any blockages. So if you have anything else going on in there, like fibroids, etc., it sees how large it is. It sees kind of where it's positioned, I guess, a little bit better. That's not going to be fun. I've already heard and read that can be a process that causes cramping and some pain. So I have that scheduled for Friday of this week. Well, that date would mean nothing to you all when you probably hear this, but which is in a few days. And so I have to mentally prep myself for that. But all in all, I'm happy because things are moving. So I'm happy / excited, but also a little sad, I guess. I don't know. I was a little sad in the office, even though they wouldn't have let anyone in there with me because, it's COVID times. But just, again, that thought of like, oh, I'm going through this process by myself, doing all this testing. And then after like hearing about the whole, the fibroid thing, if and when, which I probably will get the fibroid removed, might have to do that whole process solo. But I also know that it's something I can handle by myself, and I will handle by myself, and I'm gonna get through this. And so I am motivated. I know I am covered. I know I'm blessed, and I'm grateful because I have insurance that covers all this stuff, right? And I don't have to really come out my pocket to get this done, and I'd rather know than not know. And so that is where I'm at so far, and I'll keep you all updated. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Oasis podcast. I hope you were able to find something that resonated with you on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and like us on Instagram at the Oasis podcast. If you have any questions or comments, direct message us on Instagram or email us at ajaysoasis@gmail.com. Again, that's AAYJAYSOASIS@gmail.com.